Warriors! Good morning. I'm Coach JB, the top health and mindset coach in the world. Remember, what you believe in your heart, you think in your mind will eventually become your words, and repeat after me, become your reality. What you repeatedly say gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. Now, why do I say the same thing every single day? There's a thing called preemptive programming, and I really wanted to do this video today to help all of you who are struggling on the fence about cryptocurrency. Also, maybe you're struggling with your family members and trying to convince them or help them understand the new asset class of cryptocurrency. Now, I'm not here trying to get people into cryptocurrency, but what I want to do is give you a 30,000 foot overview and then go a little bit deeper into what's happening right now. So we're going to start 30,000 foot overview and talk about the state of the economy and help people create a broader understanding and make the complex simple so that people understand the blockchain, the new quantum financial system, and the fourth industrial revolution. So before we start, I'm not just some long-haired hippie guy. I had 12 years of banking experience, moving up to vice president of bank. I went through CBA executive banking school where you learn how to scale a bank from the ground up. And when I was in the banking system, that's when I realized for me, it didn't feel right. I didn't feel right when we got to the point where we had to fund the banks, and I understood how the Federal Reserve worked, where you could just print money into infinity, and that we lived in a debt-based society. So I'm going to take it from somewhat of a spiritual perspective. I'm also a believer in God. I follow the life of Jesus. I'm non-religious. I love every single religion. I love every single one of you. I'm non-judgmental. But I'm going to take it from a spiritual side, then I'm going to take it into a factual side, facts, figures, numbers, logic, and I'm going to try to paint a picture as best I can so I can help you, every single person, understand, right? Now, I'm here to support. That's exactly what we're doing. There's a massive flood of people entering the crypto space, and it's happening very rapidly, and it's very confusing, and a lot of people are going to get hurt and wrecked because they don't understand the game. Now, here's a fact, okay? When it has to do with money, those who control the money control the information, control the people. That happens in the stock market. That happens in the media, and that happens in cryptocurrency. There's people called whales. So you have to understand what you're doing, okay? As people look this way, there's a whole another narrative going on this way. And I'll tell you what, people spending $100 or $1,000 to invest in crypto don't have all the inside track, right? So that's why I built my Warrior Academy, to support people, to give them an ecosystem to ask questions, to understand the game, so they're not making these rash decisions because they hear a hot tip at the barbershop. When you know economics and you understand how the big money works, then you know the game, you can never be played. Okay, so let's break it down from an economic perspective, and then I'm going to break it down to more of a micro perspective. A 30,000 foot overview of what's happening within our economy right now is in 1971, we detached from the gold standard. Okay, I'll make this very simple. President Nixon detaches from the gold standard. From that point on, we became a printing machine, to make it simple, right? We are a debt-based society, so we have to have debt in the system every time a dollar goes into the system. So now let's fast forward to about 2008. We had one of the biggest housing crises in America, one of the biggest financial crises, right? And then about 2009, something called Bitcoin came onto the scene, January 2009. And just to give you some facts, figures, numbers, logic, since 2009, there's been more money printed into the money supply, right? Printed into the money supply since Bitcoin was created. You have to think about that for just a moment. Why would more money be printed since Bitcoin was created into the money supply? Now, every time we print more money, and I'm going to get into this time right now, every time we print more money, that devalues your dollar. That's why Ray Dalio says cash is trash. That may be why Warren Buffett backed out of most bank stocks but increased his position 10% in Bank of America, only one bank, and moved into gold mining. Think about that. Why would Warren Buffett, you guys believe Warren Buffett, right? Why would Warren Buffett back out of most bank stocks heavily, go up in Bank of America? I know why, or I believe I know why, is because they're connected to Ripple, and I believe Ripple XRP is going to be the bridge currency for the world. It's going to change the world. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, okay? So why would more money be printed since Bitcoin was created? Then we come up to a pandemic. And it's sad that I have to be very careful with what I say so this video can get out to you, right? So now we look this way at a pandemic, and there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. And the facts, figures, numbers, logic are the 634 richest people in the world became way more wealthier during the pandemic than you did. The tech companies, Amazon, Walmart, the big companies became way more wealthier as we all look this way. Okay. Now another thing happened that was magical during that time for them. There was more money printed in the money supply in the pandemic than in history. And everybody's getting excited about their $1.9 stimulus. Let me get a drink of water. Stimulus package that was just passed. But what does that mean for you, the common folk? That is devaluing your dollar dramatically. So now you're sitting in a deflating dollar. You have what's called a flexible inflation rate that Jerome Powell announced to the public. Barely anybody watched it out of 7 billion people in the world. We now have a flexible inflation rate. And so as long as they hit a 2% inflation rate within a reasonable amount of time, which means your products and services can go up. So what happens is they're pumping money into the system through just printing money. Okay, they lowered interest rates very, very low. Okay, so more people will borrow. So now you have borrowers, because every time you borrow, if you borrow $300,000, that puts $300,000 of salary into the system. So you have this vicious cycle that's been created. You have to keep printing money to keep the system going. So what's happening behind the scenes? All the big money are running over to stores of value as the little money, they consider us, the dumb money, the little money, right, are just sitting over innocently trying to survive, right? And what's going to happen is the middle class is going to get wiped out. Jerome Powell says he's worried about the mom and pop organizations. He said, we are not coming back to the same economy. So did the Prime Minister of Canada, said we are not coming back to the same economy. They are telling you what's happening. This stuff is all available for you. So let me take a deep breath. A lot of information, right? So it's okay to feel confused about this. If you feel confused about this, maybe you're my age or maybe you're older and you grew up in a totally different paradigm. It's very confusing. You've been subconscious mind programming to a whole economic system. So to change your economic system and change your frame of mind, it's very hard to grasp onto, right? Buying something in the quantum realm that doesn't even exist. Well, think about it. Right now, your money doesn't even exist within your bank account. They have fractional reserves. So your bank doesn't have all your money. If you have $10 million sitting in the bank, you can't walk in and grab your money right out of the bank. The bank lends out your money. They're able to keep a fraction of what you deposit into the bank. It's just numbers. It's the same thing right now. It's just numbers moving across the computer. Think about that. And they lend one amount of money over and over again. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about where we're at right now and what's actually happening, and how you may miss the biggest shift in generational wealth. Again, you can click down the description in my bio. We have a free Facebook group. We got our Warrior Academy where we have 540 warriors, actually 560 now, 560 warriors, 9 different countries. I show my portfolio, not a financial advisor, just trying to help people in the quantum financial system. So let's dive into now what's happening in the current reality. So you probably were at the Super Bowl watching, we're not at the Super Bowl, but watching the Super Bowl, and people were talking about what? Bitcoin and Dogecoin, right? Okay. So I'm here to make the complex simple. So let's take a look and let's dive through what's happening within the big companies and why you're going to get left behind, because you're watching a whole different narrative, right? So Bitcoin is setting new records amid the pandemic. Cryptocurrencies are being positioned as capital havens. Very important. Capital havens. The big money is moving their money into Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. Now, the reason why they always use the word Bitcoin is because Bitcoin's the brand name, right? And what happens is you're going to try to look at Bitcoin. You're going to see it's almost $46,000 right now, and it's going to freak you out. But there's a whole nother world called alternative coins. There's alternative coins right now at 3 cents, some at 17 cents, 30 cents. Some you can get under $1. Many you can get under $1 that are going to have massive, massive price appreciation. Imagine in the stock market or your savings account giving you 10 to 18 to 20%. There's been some coins that have gone up 700%, 200%. Some have gone up thousands of percent in the last year, creating generational wealth and setting some of us up for our future, right? Now, it's about understanding the game. So the year has unrevered a great many people in the economic sense due to the lack of restrictions and related to the C word. This has been reflected in the stock market, which surges and retrenchments based on the V announcements and distribution timelines. The same volatility has also driven buying alternative stores of value. This includes the old standby of gold, gold's gone up, as well as the digital age alternatives, Bitcoin, Ether, XRP. Bitcoin has hit levels it saw in December 2017, briefly setting a new all-time high for cryptocurrencies. We'll look at the factors driving Bitcoin. Okay, key takeaways. Bitcoin has surged 90% in the recent months, and it's up to the triple digits year to date. The increased interest in cryptocurrencies during the P word, the pandemic, is being driven in part by investors looking for alternative value. Okay, whether this haven is aspect of cryptocurrency pans over the longer term remains to be seen. It is the way we're heading. We're heading the quantum financial system, the fourth industrial revolution. Now let's go back a little bit, right? So now we know we're in a printing machine, right? We're in basically a car that's about to crash. We're in a low interest rate environment, flexible inflation, middle class is going to get wiped out, and they're wanting you to look this way as they're all packing their bags this way. So that's what I teach my warriors to do, is to understand the game. I'm not a financial advisor. Okay, now we're going to start here. I'm going to show you a couple video clips, okay? So first, if you didn't know, last year, around October, PayPal announced that you can buy crypto.
Company announcing a new feature that will allow users to buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin. The news sending Bitcoin soaring more than 7% to its highest level of the year. And our next guest is a crypto pro who says PayPal just gave a major stamp of approval for the entire crypto space. Joining us now is CoinShares Chief Strategy Officer Melton Demures. Melton, great to see you. It's been a while.
It has been a while. I feel like Bitcoin's exciting again, so here we are. It's great to be back.
In fact, we have the Bitcoin bug back up in the corner because it's gotten so exciting now. Why do you think this is a major move for PayPal? I mean, we thought that it would be a major thing when Square did it. We thought it would be a major thing when so many other companies have done similar moves, allowing their customers to have Bitcoin wallets.
Yeah, so look, Square's been really exciting. A number of different fintechs, including Revolut, SoFi, Robinhood, also offer crypto. But what's really exciting here is Venmo, which is owned by PayPal, has 300 million active users. They're millennials. They're all the target audience for Bitcoin. They're the types of investors who are interested in holding Bitcoin. So in terms of retail exposure to digital currencies, PayPal is the largest distribution channel available in the United States, and their willingness to include cryptocurrency in their offering is phenomenally exciting. It's going to be a huge on-ramp for consumers.
Okay, I don't want to misquote, but I think she said 300 million users. So rationalize that, like internalize that. That's access to 300 million users, which was huge for us in the cryptocurrency space. Okay, so if you don't know who Michael Saylor is, he owns MicroStrategies. Research these people, and this will help you understand where we're heading. You're going to miss the biggest shift in generational wealth. So MicroStrategies, Michael Saylor, he's been touting Bitcoin. He just had a meeting with CEOs. He had a conference with CEOs trying to convince them to move their money into Bitcoin. Listen to what he says.
First time as institutional investors continue to pile in. Our next guest is a big proponent of Bitcoin. His company, MicroStrategy, has bought more than $1 billion worth in 2020, and the stock
$1 billion worth
is climbing right alongside the crypto, both up about 125% over the past 3 months. He even tried to convince Elon Musk to convert Tesla's balance sheet from dollars into Bitcoin in a Twitter exchange, saying Musk would be doing shareholders a favor. Joining us now to discuss MicroStrategy and its strategy on Bitcoin is the chairman and CEO, Michael Saylor. Mr. Saylor, welcome. Good to have you with us.
Happy to be here.
Let's since Elon Musk is such an interesting cat, you had an exchange with him and he about Bitcoin, and he said you said yes. I've purchased over 1.3 billion in Bitcoin in the past months, and be happy to share my playbook with you offline. Has he followed up?
You know, I can't speak about my conversations with him, but what I can say is that Tesla, Apple, and Google all have the same problem. They're sitting on huge piles of cash, and they're dissipating shareholder wealth at a rate of 15 to 20% a year times that cash. They need to turn that from a liability into an asset, and the best way to do it is
So that's your whole job, is to turn liabilities into assets. That's what I do. I make all my money work for me. Every liability becomes an asset, okay? So now he was talking about this. This was December 23rd, 2020. Who did he mention? Elon Musk and Apple. Now watch this. Boom. Get ready. Check this out, Warriors. You ready for this?
Welcome back to Yahoo Finance Live. Checking market action right now. All three major indices are in the green. The NASDAQ, the leader, up about 0.5 percentage point right now as the rally continues. We saw some record highs, but let's talk about cryptocurrencies right now. We have seen some record highs in crypto, as you can see there. Bitcoin soaring today, up about 13%. And other than Bitcoin, we also have Dogecoin also soaring up over 7 cents right now. A nice pop in that cryptocurrency that they received from Tesla CEO Elon Musk. So we have editor at large Dan Roberts here to talk about why Elon Musk is so interested in cryptocurrency. Hey, Dan, so tell us, why is Elon Musk so interested in Bitcoin and in Dogecoin?
Yeah, Kristen, I mean, he has tweeted about both of those a number of times in the last few months, but now this is really the serious sign that he's investing. I mean, it's one thing to tweet dumb Dogecoin memes, which he has done a great deal in the last few days, and that has sent the price much higher. But now the SEC filing today discloses that Tesla in January bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. That's the biggest single Bitcoin purchase by a public company yet. Now, MicroStrategy, which is also publicly traded, now holds more Bitcoin than that, but has done it in a series of multiple buys over time. And of course, as you mentioned, that sent Bitcoin to a new all-time high above 44,000 today.
Okay, are you starting to see this? So Michael Saylor from MicroStrategies says he's going to talk to these guys. Elon Musk in January invested. He had a conference with over 100 CEOs, don't quote me, I think it's about 100 CEOs, around moving your assets into Bitcoin. Elon Musk, we found out that he actually it's right here. He put it into Bitcoin, okay? Then you go into Apple. Now check this out. You rationalize what I said with PayPal. Access to 300 million users. That was remarkable for the crypto space. If Apple does this, they have billions of users. Billions. The opportunity right now is you're at the bottom of a wave. What's going to happen is, this is why I'm getting this video out to you guys. Send this to as many people as you can. What's going to happen is you're going to get at the top of the wave when all your friends are saying, I'm getting in now, and you jump in and you do what your friends do, right? This is the time to not listen to the naysayers. This is the time in history to say, you know what, I'm going to make my own conscious decision. I'm not saying you need to get in the market. What I'm saying is what I'm doing is I'm teaching people close to me. What I'm doing is I'm in. I've been in for a while. And guess what? I've been patient, and now it's all about to pay off. Listen to this.
With an Appform rating and a price target of $171. Good to see you, Mitch. Thanks so much for joining us. I mean, let's start on that particular topic about whether Apple should start to get it more broadly into the crypto space, Bitcoin in particular, and whether you think it could be an opportunity for them.
Yeah, so I really do believe this is a pretty clear opportunity, in my opinion, because if you look at Square's R&D budget, they spend about $670 million per year. Apple generates cash flow of that amount in less than 2.5 days. So the amount of R&D expense it would take to kind of create a crypto exchange for them, just to be clear, they don't even need to own any crypto assets. They could just create an exchange. And if you run that math, Coinbase right now is going public through a direct listing, right? And they're valued at $50 to $80 billion with only 35 million people as their install base. Apple has a 1.5 billion install base, and they sell 200 million phones per year. So what prevents Apple from utilizing its best asset, which is software, a closed ecosystem, and basically putting people onto a crypto wallet and then making money off the fees? So again, there's been a lot of news here saying that I think they should buy it and all this other stuff. But really the clear message is, why can't they just become an exchange, use the software, and just get fees based on the exchange of crypto assets? I don't think that cryptocurrency is going away anytime soon. And so if they just simply become the exchange, it's a low-risk way for them to utilize the most valuable part of their asset, which is security and software.
Okay, so understand, if Apple makes this move, billions, access to 300 million users. This will give you access to billions of users. Elon Musk is allowing customers to pay for their Teslas now in Bitcoin. Well, let's go a little bit further. So the mayor of Miami is wanting to be the first city to buy Bitcoin.
Welcome back to The Breakdown with me, NLW. It's a daily podcast on macro, Bitcoin, and
All right, so I'm not going to listen, but you can go watch this yourself. Nathan Whitmore. But this Miami mayor, it wants to be the first to buy Bitcoin. There's also, I think it's a governor, I don't want to speak out of school, but somebody who was wanting to move the pension plans into Bitcoin. So Warriors, I wanted to create this video for you to tell you my experience as well. I was in banking for 12 years. I'm a multifaceted business owner. I failed in business many times. That's where I learned my most powerful lessons. What I learned is 99% of people are full of shit because you're being sold a narrative. We've all been sold a narrative, and the narrative is not to benefit you. That's why 1% of the population owns most of the wealth, because they teach you to be a worker. They teach you to just be over broke. They teach you to get excited for Friday for the weekend, to hate Mondays. They teach you to work 9 to 5, to not question anything. And they teach you to look this way. Is there a whole nother narrative going on this way? And you've been taught to work for money when your money should be working for you. Now, I'm not trying to convince you to get into cryptocurrency. What I'm telling you is you need to learn how to fish. I can give a man a fish and they'll eat for a day, but Jesus says if you give a man a fishing pole, they will eat for a lifetime, or teach them how to fish. That's exactly what I'm doing in my Warrior Academy. I'm teaching people exactly what I'm doing, but also showing them how to change their subconscious mind around money and wealth. This is the biggest time in history. There will never be a moment like this in our history or our kids' history. Let me repeat that. There will never be a moment like this in our history or our kids' history. There has not been a new asset class since the 1600s. And if you haven't seen the narrative yet, everybody's talking about it. And the attention's over on this Dogecoin, this non-utility coin, when there's all these great opportunities of real-world solved cryptocurrencies. So when you see Bitcoin at $46,000, take a deep breath. There's a whole sea of altcoins, alternative coins that have real world solve that are pennies on the dollar right now that could change your life. Now remember, none of this is financial advice. I'm just some long-haired, bearded dude that's trying to help you see where we're heading and give you a different overview so you don't have to listen to the person telling you the cryptocurrency is a fraud. It's time to take a deep breath. The very person that told you, JP Morgan, right? Jamie Dimon at JP Morgan in 2017 told you cryptocurrency is a fraud and you're a criminal if you buy or sell cryptocurrency. Well, interesting. He's one of the first banks to create his own coin and own cryptocurrency protocol. So as he told you as a fraud, he was stacking up the cryptocurrencies. So you got to understand, Warriors, when it comes to money, people get greedy. And when it comes to money, they don't want you to win. And when it comes to money, those who control the money, control the information, control the people. I'm done being controlled. And I'm done seeing people be controlled. This is God's money. This is God's money. And I plan on being one of the richest people in the world so I can bring the money back to the people. And I can die trying. And that's what I'm going to do. So if you need any information, click the link down below. Everything you need is down there. I also have a podcast called the Coach JV Podcast, over 920 podcasts, hundreds of free podcasts, hundreds of free YouTube videos, tons of social media. They keep banning me on social media, so I'll be there as long as I can. But I want to say I love you guys very much, but damn well don't let me love you more than you love yourself. Warriors, rise! If you're still here, click Warriors Rise. Good job.